Oh boy, this was expected because we were all saying that maybe the Indians will bat well, maybe they'll do well, but the Australian bowlers are no spring chickens by any sense of the imagination. So what has happened after Australia got bowled out for 469? Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma gave India a fast start. 4 overs, they were 23 for no loss. They had just zipped through. And we have got Nikhil, who's joined us from the Oval. Rohit Sharma trapped LBW by Pat Cummins, but Scott Boland, I mean, he was the man who was going to do all the damage. We all felt so. And 3 overs, 2 maidens, 2 runs, 1 wicket. Gill, shouldering arms for delivery that comes back in, hits top of middle end off. So, Nikhil, you think that the advantage that India had in trying getting those wickets kind of negated by those 2 strikes by Boland and Cummins?
Yeah, but I'm happy to hear, Siddharth, that you're saying the advantage India had.
Advantage, quote unquote.
Had the advantage. Yeah. No, I mean, I guess, they would have taken 460 odd if you had told them at the start of day 2, if you had told India that that's how much Australia is going to get, India would have taken it. I think under the circumstances, the best that, India could have hoped for as far as the bowling is concerned. And I still didn't think it was that big a total that India had fallen so far back in the test match that they couldn't make a comeback. But yes, India had to bat well from there on. At the 2 dismissals, Rohit Sharma, I was plumb. Good he didn't go for a review. The only credit I'll give him is that most captains usually waste 1 review on themselves because they believe it's their birthright to take that. Good on Rohit that he did not. He was quite practical about it, knew that he's out, no point wasting it, and walked away to a delivery that jacked back. And I think we discussed that Cummins doesn't rely on swing so much. He can use that seam movement, and that 1 ball that will come in will trouble them. So, I mean, and that 1 ball did come in and got him. Then you look at Shubman Gill's dismissal. We knew about Boland and his ability to swing the ball, but that wasn't so much of a swing as much as a seam movement, shouldering arms to a ball that he should have been playing. I don't know how he saw it and what made him think that the ball's going to pitch and go out. Maybe, the ball's leading into that one. He thought maybe this one also going to go out, but it wasn't to be. I don't know. I think that was an error of judgment. Clearly it was a lap of concentration. That lapse probably, cost him that wicket. Should have been slightly more careful. I like the intent from the Indian openers to begin with. I mean, they weren't afraid to pull the ball, hook the ball. If you were bowling short, they went for their shots too and got the run. So you thought that, yes, it'll be an easy pitch to bat on. By the way, I kept talking about that swing and, that swing might trouble India. And I was a bit worried about, the ball swinging and India could be in trouble. It wasn't happening. The swing hasn't been there on display so much this time, I thought. In this session, it's that seam movement off the pitch that has got both those wickets. It could have been much worse, by the way, for India. A close one up for Virat Kohli. That ball just went for 4. Could have very well dragged on to his stump and then 3 down. You could have been in trouble. But then, I mean, I look at Australia also didn't have a great start. They lost Paja pretty early. And then there was a bit of a partnership. So not much to choose from in that sense. I mean, India can still pile on a lot of runs. They've got 2 of their more experienced test batsmen in Pujara and Virat Kohli on the crease. But I don't know how many times I've said it. Crucial session coming up.
I mean, see, as I've always said, crucial half an hour of every session. Crucial half an hour.
And like Siddharth would love to say, or will probably be saying this in a few minutes from now, probably when we come towards the end of the live, that you need a key partnership from Pujara and Kohli.
You do.
If you want to stay in this contest, you know.
It is right.
Yeah, no, it's just a joke that we share with Siddharth because of his liking to the word vital and key.
I mean, look at it. See, Shubman Gill, what did he expect? Because the ball was coming in, he thought the bounce could kind of take it over the stumps.
No, I think he just misread because
Again,
the broadcaster.
Yeah, he misread it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the bounce. He's right, he misread it.
Nikhil, the broadcaster here, showed it very well. He showed the pitch map. The broadcaster showed the pitch map as to what had happened in the lead up to that dismissal of Shubman Gill. So, and it was all Boland deliveries only. He was bowling in that exact same region, and that dismissal also came off the region in which he was consistently bowling. The only thing that happened different is that the ball just jagged back a little more. But then Shubman Gill had played all the balls previously as well that were bowled to him before the dismissal. This time he didn't offer the shot to a ball which was delivered and pitched in the same region. So it was a clear misjudgment, and as Nikhil earlier said, lapse of concentration.
Clear misjudgment, and again Rohit Sharma playing across the line slightly. That's a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. I sort of disagree. I think there was a genuinely good ball. He got trapped on the front foot. He was committed to the shot, but again, the length was a little fuller than what he was expecting, and then it just jagged back. So again, he just could not move. But had it not been for that inward movement, I think he would have still survived. But again, Pat Cummins getting that movement off the deck, that was something. So I'll still sort of give it to him because of that late movement and that movement of the deck. But Shubman again.
No, I'll disagree with that on Rohit's point. This is the same technical flaw that Rohit Sharma has had ever since the very beginning. He has not worked on it, but he's glad that he's in an era when bowlers have not exploited to the hilt. Today, that same technical flaw came. What was the technical flaw? Get the ball to jag back in. That is his get out shot. Same problem with Virat Kohli. If he's bogged down, he will play across the line, but if it comes back in, plumb LBW. You've not had bowlers exploit that weakness. Cummins today got it. He bowled in the right end. Remember, it was hitting leg. It wasn't scraping. It was hitting leg stump. This is the problem that Rohit Sharma and that technical was. It's there in him. But luckily, he's been in an era where bowlers haven't exploited it to the hilt. That's the situation.
Yeah, I think he's paid a price for it. Shaheen also exploited it, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So it's been the thing.
Amir, incoming.
Amir also, yes. Amir also.
Yeah, Nikhil.
But I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on this. I think both of you have a valid point. I think Siddharth's talking about that weakness. I think that's a valid point. I also kind of agree with Harshit what he's saying that today that ball was good. I mean, it came in. Yeah, he could have played it differently, but that's hindsight. Most batsmen would have struggled if not that ball, maybe a similar ball here and there. You could have been lucky. I'm saying that flaw, if that flaw has been there, who better to exploit it than English bowlers? But, you'd expect Broad and Anderson to exploit it. No one does it better than them. But, to be fair to Rohit, he's come here and got a lot of runs. Yeah. So if there was those glaring mistakes in his technique, he wouldn't have been able to succeed in Test cricket. Yes, I agree. The Rohit, pre-2017-18, that South Africa tour, whichever was that at home. So pre that versus post that, I think there's a huge difference. I don't know. I'd love to know from you guys, and maybe you guys can track also going forward now. And maybe for a post-match, we could have a longer discussion on that. But are the knives out for Rohit Sharma? One, because he's getting a lot of criticism for his captaincy. So I wonder whether, people, it just adds on. Had he got some runs, then, you are let off a bit by the critiques of fans. But the fact that he got a few decisions wrong, more than a few decisions wrong, and the fact that he didn't get any runs in the first innings, do you think? Because what I'm saying is, because every session, 2 sessions or a match, if India's not doing well, we need to find a villain, right? I mean, I'm not saying by we, I don't mean we as in we as cricket lovers or Indian fans, we end up finding someone to blame. Is Rohit Sharma that guy already? Is he trending on Twitter? Are people already having a conversation about Rohit and his captaincy, his lack of trophies in ICC events, and his decisions here, bowling changes, field placement, batting, all of that? Has it come into the conversation? Is the chatter all about that?
I will reserve this comment on Rohit's captaincy on day 5. Whenever the test match ends.
You're saying it'll be result oriented?
What is the public saying? What is the public? Public kya bol rahi? Public.
The public have criticized Rohit Sharma's captaincy.
Yeah.
Captaincy has been critiqued in all facets, be it decision making, be it rotation of the bowlers, field settings. His captaincy has not been up to the mark. That is the public sentiment we are getting here. The public sentiment on his batting failure now, it may rise.
Starting to rise now.
Starting to rise. So maybe in the final session, we'll have a longer debate. We'll have much more of a bigger sample size on Rohit's captaincy and batting.
If you ask me, I don't think he did something criminally wrong in terms of his captaincy. And with regards to his batsmanship, let's say, I'd want to wait and see, because let's not forget he got you that crucial 100 as well in the BGT. He looked as one of the better batters going into that Ahmedabad test, which was batting conditions for everyone. But before that, he was the only centurion from Team India in that series. Plus, I would like to see how he plays in the second innings as well. And sure enough, he will be getting a chance to bat once more. So let's just see, and maybe we can then comment on his batting. But I don't think he did something cardinally or criminally wrong, let's say, with his captaincy.
Yeah,
What do the two remaining panelists have to say about it?
We just.
I think up until the IPL, everyone was saying, IPL hasn't really. He didn't perform in the IPL as well, and people were saying, were saying as well that Rohit doesn't. IPL doesn't really affect Rohit's batting when it comes to international cricket. It's vice versa. It doesn't affect his international cricket, and international cricket doesn't affect his IPL performance. But now I think some questions would be raised, and it will get, I think, even more intense after the second innings. But yeah, Shane.
No, I think, I remember doing a video on that where I checked and chalked up his IPL stats over the past few years vis-a-vis his international form. It had no impact whatsoever. Even when he was having a good IPL, he was good internationally. When he was having bad IPLs, he was good internationally. So it had no correlation whatsoever. But having said that, I don't know. I think he could have done with some runs here. India did need big runs from him today.
Tell me, I want to know about Rohit. Okay, it's not just Rohit the batsman. You analyze that IPL format. What about the captain? What's the chatter about that?
The chatter about that has actually not been very positive.
Yeah.
Truth be told, he's not helped himself a little bit. I think there was a little bit of proactivity lacking. Couple of times there were times where his field settings could have been better. So I think, generally speaking, the chatter around it, if you go by not just us, but even social media, hasn't been that great.
And let me just tell you one more thing. You are saying cardinally he didn't commit a crime, Rohit Sharma. I watched the entire Steve Smith knock. There wasn't a leg slip.
There was.
No, it was for Labuschagne.
I'll show you proof.
But where was the short leg and leg gully in place for Travis Head? When the short ball
there
was
exactly
163 runs. 163 runs later, you decide, I'll keep on bowling short. Where is the proactivity in that? One, the team management went underprepared. They never analyzed each and every batter there. Otherwise, you would have immediately.
Okay. See, that again is visual proof. And I remember seeing it. So I'm going to show you that proof that there was. See, they went in with a plan for Steve Smith. With Travis Head, a little different. But again, they did have that deep fine. Let's not forget. So, again, the other thing to
where does Travis Head hole out to deep fine?
Sorry?
When does Travis Head hole out to deep fine?
You can't just say when does he do that.
There was no planning. If you had watched Travis Head's batting, he normally gets uncomfortable around square leg. He never top edges to find like that much. Why would you waste a fielder there? That shows proactive captaincy. No sense in that.
But even if you, the earlier argument you made while we were, I think, talking ahead of today's first session, I think that I agree that you could have had, let's say, an unconventional short leg over there, and that could have been the additional fielder you could have had. But nothing wrong with having a deep fine. That's totally fine if you ask me.
But then, see, you look at what happened in that entire partnership. If suppose you are troubled by a short ball, what did Head do? He just nudged it into the gap and the pressure was off. Left hand, right hand. The flexibility and the planning wasn't there. And once Steve Smith decided, okay, I don't have an unconventional short leg, he just tugged it around. There was no sustained period of pressure. And that is the main problem with Rohit's captaincy. Today, in that on day 1 and day 2 also, suddenly when you are on 90, oh, okay, I realized, okay, I'll bowl short and short. When he got to 100, foot off the pedal. That shows that you, anyway with the toss, I disagreed with the fact that you had to bowl first. Got swayed away by the conditions. When most of your success has come while batting first in England, why would you want to revert to type?
See, again, I think we've got the benefit of hindsight, and I don't blame India for opting to bowl first. I think that's fine because, yes, I know my strengths and weaknesses, and weather's unpredictable. You don't know if those conditions had sustained, let's say, for a longer period than they did yesterday. You would have been like, and you and I would have had the knives out first up as to why would you make that call when you know the sun's not there.
I'll tell you why. If this was 2002, if it was Leeds, if Sourav Ganguly had decided to bowl, that time the conditions were much more extreme. Green deck, overcast conditions throughout. But what did India do? I back your batters. Go ahead and do it. They made 628.
No, but
this means that the captain...
We've anyway had that conversation, and I think we're on the same page that the inclusion of Shardul Thakur is also in a bit an admission on the team management's part that they don't have that massive confidence in the batting lineup.
That is the problem then with your captain. Then the captain and the team management are guilty on both fronts. You don't have confidence in your batters. Oh, okay, let us just go out, lambs to the slaughter.
Because there is no other way you leave the top ranked bowler otherwise. As simple as that.
Hello, India have done it even in the past.
But I think that's where Sunny Gavaskar makes a very good point. And I don't know, and this has been said about Ravi Ashwin so many times in the past as well, that India do it somehow, but in how many teams or in international cricket, which other side do you see dropping Ravi Ashwin regardless of where you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, look at Jadeja. How many wickets has he got? One, right?
One.
And Ashwin, if he was here, I think he would have gotten at least 2-3 wickets.
We don't know.
We can't say that.
But what again, I'm saying is, he's a wicket taker.
Speaking of matchups, you've got 6 left-handers up there.
That's true too.
Why would you have? Why would you want, let's say, a Jadeja? Nothing wrong with having a Jadeja, but I'm just saying, if you're talking about matchups, what makes tactically more sense to have a bowler who gives you variety, who has creativity, or let's say a bowler who will only bowl the ball into the left-hander, doesn't have a dusra, or let's say a very good straight one.
Again, this whole debate on the team selection, you'll only know about it once the match ends.
Yeah.
I think you are going to see that what should have been the formula in 2023 should have been employed in 2021. And in 2021, the team that was picked should have been employed in this. Because see, the pitch, the greenness is just an illusion. The cracks underneath are there. It will only open up on days 3 and 4. And the pace on this wicket is sluggish. There is no pace. You saw with seam movement, that's how it happened. So, that is the thing. So, Rohit, the captain, lot to be desired in this match, at least for this 1.5 sessions that we have seen. So, Nikhil, that's the verdict that we've got. He's not in.
Phone's dead, I think.
Oops, phone's dead. Okay, so, man oh man, it's going to be, this session, I'm more worried about Scott Boland. Because Boland, once he settles into that metronomic line and length, you have to pray. Because he's not going to give you any loose balls. And look at the 3 overs that he bowled. Hardly anything was on middle and leg. Off stump, good length line. And remember, if he gets even a hint of away movement or hint of in movement, the batters have had it.
The in movement is there. I think the surprise with him will be if the ball starts to go out.
And remember,
that'll be the danger.
This pitch is very, very similar to the one that was dished out at Melbourne 2021. And what did Boland do in that against England? 6 for 7. Of course, the England batters did themselves no favors by committing harakiri.
Yeah. But again, thing with Boland is, he's He's only got probably a plan A, but that plan A is
so effective.
so watertight that it leaves you with little margin for error. Look at Shubman Gill's dismissal. Nothing new, nothing out of the syllabus, by the way. You know he is a line-to-line or stump-to-stump bowler. He will stick to that same line and length, top up off. That is exactly what he targets.
I just want to recollect in 2021.
And since you mentioned about that and that England innings, most of the times, what were the dismissals? Either the batsman was bowled or was caught in the slip. So that's how consistent he has been over the years.
I just am wondering, did Shubman Gill in the 2021 WTC final against New Zealand, did he pad up to a delivery that was coming in from Tim Southee and he was strapped LBW?
He got a 40 odd if I'm not wrong.
That's what I have to check. I think he padded one delivery and he was strapped LBW. And that means for the second consecutive World Test Championship final, he's had a misjudgment. That means Shubman Gill does not know where his off stump is in Test match gate, and that is going to be his biggest challenge in the coming years.
To overcome, yeah.
That will be the problem, because I just have to check. It's really going to be whether Shubman Gill has this problem, which only good bowlers can exploit it. And remember, Boland is one of the best at this point. So I just want to check whether he padded up to a delivery that was.
We'll get that.
We'll just get that, yeah. Scorecard. I know that he got out to Wagner, but then go down. Yes.
LBW.
Yes. He left arms, but the ball came back in and he was strapped plumb in front. That's the thing.
Anyway, 37 for 2. That's how things stand right now. India have a mountain to climb. They find themselves in a pickle. Do we want to take any predictions from where we see how we see the session panning out?
I would say India.
Or do we just leave it to the prayers?
Yes.
I think at this point it's leaving it to players.
Maybe you are reaching about 110.
That's a really good session, man.
73 in a 2.5 hour session.
Yeah, but
this is taking into account Pujara.
Exactly.
That's why I said 110.
Oh, good shot.
All right.
Yeah, so I think they may lose one more wicket. They may. But remember, you're batting in the best batting sessions of this test match.
Yeah.
The third session last time, 157 runs without a single wicket lost. Here, let's hope it's a similar scenario.
Yes.
So we'll be back for the final session at 10:30.
At 10:30.
After the
because-
final session, you mean?
For the final session.
For
which
our
will-
final session.
For our final
For
session at
our
10:30.
final session of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you remember, actually the closing time is 10, but I don't think they'll bowl all their overs out at that time.
So 10:30.
You are getting a half an hour extension only.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's the situation. Join us for that, and lots more sporting updates coming up from Sports Today, including the start of the FIH Pro League encounter between India and Argentina. Fingers crossed even for that. Thank you. Bye-bye.